Welcome back to Ground Improvement Techniques. Today our topic is Characterize Problematic Soils. Previous class, what we understand, we are going to understand what are the ground improvement techniques, what is the need of ground modification, what are the various objectives, and what are the how we are identify the soils, and based on their tests we are understand. Coming to these characterize problematic soil. In this, so it involves assessing the various properties and various factors that can affect their suitability for the different purposes. In this total, which we understand for understanding the construction, agriculture or environmental management. So in our main motto comes for construction. So how these soils are going to characterize, how they are reflective, so how their effects. In last, what we understand based on the structure, based on the pH value, which type of identification we will see. In this, how they characterize these problematic soil and how assessing various properties and factors that can affect their suitability for various purposes. Based on the suitability for different purposes. Coming to this structure, soil structures reflect to the relative properties such as sand, silt, clay, particles. We may understand using these our fingers and rubbing. So based on the feel, we may identify which type of soil type it is. Coming to this, it affects properties like drainage, water retention and fertility. So these are the major properties which are going to affect for the various purposes which we are using for various regions. So in this, it affects properties like drainage, water retention, fertility. Coming to the structure, soil structure relates to how individual soil particles are arranged and aggregated. So this structure, based on this structure relates how the individual soil particles. So it may depends upon the size of the soil and what are the next layer of the soil, how that was adopted this one. They are going to merge, they are going to differ. It depends. It depends upon the structure, how much it is going to relevant. So in this, individual soil particles are arranged and aggregated. It influences porosity, permeability and penetration. So this, how it affects. So in previous, for the identification, we will see these soils. Now we are understanding the characterizing and how they are affecting the suitability of the various purposes of these. So in this, based on this structure, we are going to understand how the particle are going to arrange and which type of aggregate it is going to belong. What are the factors which is going to influence, that is porosity is going to influence based on the structure of the soil. Similarly, permeability also influences for the structure of the soil, penetration. So it is also depends upon the structure of the soil. So these are the parameters which are going to influence this structure of the soil particles. Similarly, structure. So now next, composition. It plays a very, very important role based on the various compositions, how the soil is going to react. This composition is purely depends upon how the soil is going to form, on which basis that particular soil is formed. So soil is formed the combination of various minerals. So which type of 2 or 3 minerals, single mineral, it depends. N number of different possibilities are there for formation of the soil, and various types of soil we are understanding. In that type of soil also, it comes under same category, even though they are having their own different properties. Not only properties, in that particular property, the limits what are the values, what are the compaction, so for example, compaction values or permeability values, or what are the various, those values are influencing how it is going to influence, how it is going to react. So like this, we have to understand this composition. It is looks like it's very simple, but in depth it gives so much knowledge regarding the soil type or soil characterization and how it is influences under various categories. Same kind of soil, it may react in different, in same kind of soil, we may put into the two different scenarios. They are going to react in different ways because of these compositions which are there in the inside of the soil, which into the soil. So like that, we have to understand the composition, and it includes the mineral composition, and that is the major thing which we have to understand. Not only the outside and how it is exposes, how much depth that particular soil is available. These are also the parameters which we consider also. Even though the mineral composition plays a vital role, and one more thing is in that organic matter also, which kind of organic matter content is there, that is also plays a major role in this composition, and especially at the time of influencing with others, with other structures, agriculture, and various parameters are comes under this category. In this composition, mineral composition of the soil as well as organic matter content, certain minerals or organic matters can affect soil stability. So it affects the stability and fertility and nutrient availability. This is the minerals, which type of minerals are present and which different type of mineral compositions, how they react, and it depends upon the percentage of the content also. It may same mineral, it may 1% is there, it may not affect that much. But coming to the, it is more than 50% of the mineral is there, it may affect in different way. So it is depends upon the each and every type of mineral, how much percentage it is there and how it is combined, which type of another mineral. If you felt, if we consider two different minerals X and Y, how much percentages of minerals are available and how much, and for how these two, if the addition of these two, how it reacts also the matter in this composition, mineral composition in this also plays a vital role. In this porosity, this is the composition. So in this we are understanding and how the, based on the test and based on the identification of the soil, after that we are characterized and which type of properties are going to affect coming to these composition. Those are stability, one of the important parameter, fertility and nutrient availability for agriculture point of view also. It is very important, not only in construction purpose, for a nutrient point of also it may affect. So we may understand so many different types of rivers. So we know all, so that nutrient point. So different types of rivers which we are available in India only, but each has their different self-cleaning capacity. Why same? Why not same within the India? Because of the regions and because of the minerals and because of the way of the river is going to travel. So like that, where the soil is present, how it exposes the environment also plays a role in this composition. So these minerals, based on these minerals and how they expose to the environment and which type of the locality they are there, how the environmental conditions are there, these are all the parameters which we influence these stability, fertility and nutrient availability. The next one is porosity and permeability. Coming to the porosity refers to the amount of pore space in the soil. That space also influences the various, it influences the different properties, different areas. different areas. In these, the spore space in the soil, while permeability refers to how easily water, air can move through it. So because of the porosity, it is refers to the amount, so that a particular space. So based on the which type of air is going to move on it, and how the water content, how it moist, how much time, how much percentage of water is going to, the type of soil is going to absorb, all parameters are going to influence in this porosity. In this porosity and permeability, it refers these kind of status of the soil, and it influences the drainage, aeration, and the movement of contaminants. The movement of contaminants, it gives the different kind of picture for the soil conditions and this influence parameter. Like this, we are going to understand this porosity from the soil. Similarly, permeability also. Coming to the pH, this soil pH indicates its acidity, alkalinity. It indicates the whether the soil comes under alkaline nature or acidic nature or neutral. It depends upon the pH value. How it affects the nutrient availability and microbial activity. So extreme pH value can be problematic for certain plants or construction materials. The pH value is equal to 7. It is the best condition for growing of plants. All we know. So that ideal condition, that neutral condition gives the better plantation. So similarly, the pH value, this alkalinity and acidity nature, if it is there in soil condition, it may affect the soil materials. Acid attacks, when we are studying acid attack, alkaline nature, because of this alkalinity nature, the materials are going to affect and they are reacting in different ways based on the how much percentage of acidity, acidic nature it is there. So this pH value plays a consider for construction materials because of the influence of the materials. So different types of construction materials which we are using, similarly like cement, sand, different aggregates, another admixtures. Nowadays we are using different admixtures. Nowadays we are using high grade concrete. So for that we are using various different properties and GGBS, agriculture waste also we are using nowadays. So all these different kind of materials which we are using for construction purpose. So for that, whenever we are using different types of these construction materials, so the pH value is going to directly influence these materials. It means it is going to affect the construction. So here we kept this pH value also for construction materials. It plays also a major role in this construction work, or what are the project which is going to propose. Not only for this project work, for plantation also this pH value is going to affect. So like this we are going to understand these pH values. The next one is compaction. Coming to the compaction, compacted soils have reduced pore space and increased density, affecting root growth, water infiltration and soil aeration. So the compaction of soils also have reduced the pore space and increased the density, affecting the root growth, water infiltration and soil aeration. So for this also these are the parameters are going to influence. We have to understand this compaction also. Next one is the salinity and sodicity. High levels of salts or sodium in the soil can be problematic for plant growth and soil structure also. Soil structure also is going to influence because of the heavy salts, high level of salts and sodium in the soil. So these are all the parameters. They are going to influence the other various parameters for for that purpose, we have to understand these characteristics. Coming to the contaminants, this includes pollutants such as heavy metals. So these contaminants, heavy metals, pesticides or hydrocarbons which can pose risk to the human health and the environmental. Whenever the heavy metals are there, so we are doing different kind of constructions, whenever we are doing the mining. So these are all affects the different, it may risk the human health and the particular environment also. It is not good for environment also. So these are and it creates pollutants, those pollutants. So this is also we have to understand and we have to reduce those things. Next one is erosion potential. So coming to this erosion potential plays a very major role in the whenever the nearby water bodies are there, whenever we are doing these various constructions like roads. So because of these water bodies, the soil is going to erode in different way. So whenever the complete based on the region, it depends upon the where that particular region is there. This erosion, soil erosion susceptibility depends on factors like slope, based on the slope, vegetation cover and soil structure. And so erosion can lead to the loss of soil fertility and sedimentation in water bodies. So whenever nearby water bodies we are doing any type of construction, it may affect. So we have to control or we have to take some preventive measures for this erosion control. The soil erosion plays a major role whenever the water bodies are nearby the constructions, or whenever we are doing the such type of road constructions nearby water bodies, the soil erosion we will observe in most of the cases. So we have to understand and we have to suspect, and depends upon the various factors, all these slope, vegetation cover and soil structure. So we have to consider the soil structure and we are going to take those measures to prevent this soil erosion and for save the construction, whichever we are considered. In these, erosion can lead to loss of soil fertility and sedimentation in water bodies. The next one is the consistency. Coming to the consistency, soil consistency refers to its resistance to deform under stress. So it deform under stress. So consistency test can help identify the soil prone to swelling, shrinkage, slippage. So based on this characteristic, we understand how much it's swelling, how much that shrinkage is going to happen. All these parameters we will understand. So shrink well potential, some soil exhibits significant volume changes with changes in the moisture content. This is one of the important parameter based on the environmental conditions throughout the all days, every time we are not getting the same kind of environmental conditions. So it may lead different kinds of actions. Those are affect this soil. So this is the one of the thing we are going to understand. In this, some soil exhibits significant volume changes with changes in moisture content. Because of the moisture content changes, the volume of the soil is going to change. So it leading to the foundation instability or cracking. So for prevent, we have to understand this characterized problem. Shrink well potential lead to the problems like foundation instability. It causes so much in various ways, and cracking also, it affects the total construction sometimes. That's why we have to understand this shrinks well potential very clearly, and how it is going to, and how we are going to reduce these effects also very important. For understanding this, these volume changes into the moisture content leading to the problems like foundation instability and cracking, we are going to take some preventive measures, and we have to understand this first. So coming to this biological activity, soil biology including microbial populations and Fauna influences nutrient cycling, soil structure, and overall soil health. So, characterizing problematic soils often involves a combination of the field observations like laboratory tests and data analysis to understand their properties and behaviors accurately. So, these understanding of these properties and behaviors accurately, then only we are moving for the any type of construction in agriculture, whatever the requirement it is there. So, these are all the characteristic properties are help, and we are identifying where the problem is there, like shrink swell or pH value, some other various parameters, contaminant, mineral composition, how, which type of soil properties these are going to affect. So based on that, we are going to take all measures and give the design according to the requirement. For that purpose, it is very, very helpful. So this information is very crucial for appropriate land management and engineering decisions and environmental remediation strategies. So for this purpose, all these parameters are very, very helpful for getting the better understanding about the soil condition and various parameters on which parameters these are going to influence, these are going to affect for reducing the effect and getting better results. For understanding all these things, it gives the better results and better understanding about the soils and which type of adoption conditions are suitable for various conditions and which type of strategies are helpful for do not affect these problematic conditions. Those are not affecting our whatever the requirement. So for that, which type of strategy is helpful, all these things we are getting for understanding the all characteristics and how they influencing the which type of parameters. So these are the characteristics problem. In next class, what are the mechanical methods we will consider in our next class. So thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.